Hi, folks. I got time for one more of these things that are counterintuitive. Things that are counterintuitive are great. When you find out, you break through, that they're actually true, everything you thought before doesn't actually work. And this other thing that I want to talk about being counterintuitive is something that our life is built on. And the fact is this. The fact is that is counterintuitive is this. Asserting a religious exclusivity is thought to increase hostility and division, whereas asserting a kind of religious relativism, religious sort of smorgasbord of everything's just an option, is thought to create more unity and goodwill. In fact, it's wrong. The opposite is the case. Asserting a religious exclusivity actually increases harmony and goodwill in the right way, whereas allowing relativism and a smorgasbord of options to prevail diminishes goodwill and harmony. And I'll show you why. Many people, the way that we think about it is in terms of this, that a person's religious views ought not to bother somebody else. A person's religious views ought not to affect the lives of somebody else. That's not honestly how I think of the world. I have a different view of the world than the people who espouse that formulation. I think of it in terms of how the Bible thinks of it, and how for centuries we thought about it, that there is the true God and there are false gods. And I believe that resonates on a deep level with all of us, whether or not we want to admit it. There is a truth. There is a right way to live. There is a right way to view the universe. And there are a multitude of wrong ways. We call it the true God and the false God. Lots of people now in America, because we have this plurality and religious relativism as part of our doctrine, to think that your religion should not affect other people. A lot of American Christians even have adopted that and have taken their faith in God and have put it in the back seat. So what do they put in the driver's seat? They put all these other things that they believe are important, and yet don't deserve to be in the driver's seat. And they're trying to solve the world's problems. They're trying to solve the problems of education, trying to solve the problems of poverty, the economy, trying to solve environment, trying to solve gender equality, trying to solve national identity. Whether they're conservative or liberal, it doesn't matter. They're solving all these things, and yet they're not asking the one question of who is God? Who is God? They're asking these other questions. They're wedding themselves, marrying themselves to a platform, but they haven't put first things first. They have decided that God is in the back seat, that we're not going to argue about God. We're not going to assert anything about God because we can get along better if we just try to solve these pragmatic problems. And this, in fact, doesn't work. And I'll explain why. And it is because the true God, when you know the truth about God, then you know the truth about yourself. And the truth about yourself is not pretty. Knowing the truth about yourself makes you humbler. Being humbler helps you get along with people better. Knowing the truth about God allows you to see other people through the true God's eyes. You see them in love, for He created them. He redeemed them. He helps them to come to the knowledge of Him. So the person who has the true God, who is insisting upon the true God, is actually doing something more loving for their community, more kind, more clear, more wise for their community, than is the person who puts it all in the back seat and lets everything kind of go as it already goes. And this goes further than this. When you know the true God, when you have that humility, you can relate to people better. The fears and the hostilities that you naturally have anxieties and suspicions about other people, but not when you know about God. When you know the true God, then you can have love for other people instead of suspicion, and you can have hope instead of fear. What else happens? When you know the true God, you're able to give to people better, knowing that whether or not they use it in the way that is pleasing to you, it's all in God's hands. You can give to people, but you can work with people more because as I said, your fears have been allayed, your suspicions have been allayed. You trust in God. You don't have to trust in them 100%. You trust in God to take care of you and take care of the world. Go ahead and do something good with these people. You see how this is working? You believe in the one true God. You're actually able to cause more ripples for the sake of your community and for a better world than if you said, it doesn't matter what you believe. It does matter what you believe. It matters. It's a matter of life and death, heaven and hell, what you believe. And here's the flip side, false gods. What do false gods do? False gods actually increase division. What's a political platform? What is a platform? False gods claim to encompass and to embrace all people, right? That's what makes them attractive to us, because they sound universal. But where do they always lead you? They're always pointing out the enemy. They're always creating paranoiacs. To say, here's the one who is our opponent. Here's the person who's out to get you. And conspiracy theories are perhaps the extreme form of this, which can lead into some very bad behaviors and very antisocial behaviors. False gods paint the world without the big picture. False gods paint the world the way we want to see it, because we made those false gods. Of course, they're going to paint the world in the way we want to see it. So false gods in the Bible, they talk about false gods cannot provide rain. False gods cannot answer prayers. False gods cannot save you from your sins. Today, I would say false gods cannot help the environment. False gods cannot improve education. False gods cannot improve health or the environment or anything like that, because even if they improve something, they secretly or not so secretly are making something else worse in the process. You know what I mean? You've seen this happen. There are always give and takes. There are always compromises that happen when people get into power. So worship the true God and insist on it. There is a true God. We don't have an option here. The best option, he is the one who provides not only the only option and the best option. Have a blessed day. We'll see you next time.